All right, today we're gonna make one of my favorite things here, and it's a spiced smoked pork tenderloin. We're gonna slice it up for sandwiches once it's done. We have our pork tenderloins here. They generally come in a little pack of 2. These weigh a total of 2.5 pounds. What I'm gonna do with them first is I'm gonna trim off some of the silver skin, and we're going to make a brine for them. We'll put them in the brine for about 8 hours, and after that we'll get them out, put a rub on them, tie them together. I like to tie them together because they are so small. These are, 2.5 pounds, so they're about 1.25 pound a piece. We'll tie them together after we put the rub on them and get them on the smoker. I'll show you the rub here in a second, but I'm going to start by trimming off some of this silver skin. Trimmed off all the silver skin from the pork tenderloin. Now I'm going to make the brine. The brine, I have a quart of water. I have 1/4 cup of kosher salt and 3/4 cup of dark brown sugar. And I like to mix my brines up with a hand mixer. Just because I'm using a cold brine, if you're heating it up, obviously it's going to dissolve, but this really helps the kosher salt and the sugar to mix up quicker. And I'm going to take a 1 gallon Ziploc bag, put the pork tenderloins in the bag, and pour my brine in. I'll push the air out of the bag, seal it up, and refrigerate for 8 hours. Here we have our beautiful pork tenderloins after they came out of the brine. They brined for 8 hours. I rinsed them in the sink pretty thoroughly and then patted them dry with paper towel. This is the rub I'm going to be putting on. Use what flavor profiles you like. I like a lot of different chili peppers. I like a little smoky powder. I like smoked paprika and chipotle powder, so those are in there too. But real quick, my recipe is I use a tablespoon of black pepper, a tablespoon of chipotle powder, a tablespoon of smoked paprika, 1 tablespoon of granulated garlic, 1 tablespoon of brown sugar, a 1/2 tablespoon of kosher salt, and a 1/2 tablespoon of Aleppo pepper. And like I said, I've been using some different peppers. If you can't find or don't want to use Aleppo pepper, that's perfectly all right. Use regular chili pepper like an ancho or something like that. I'm not gonna put any sort of binder on here. A lot of people put binders on for some of the things they smoke. I do with my pork butts and sometimes with my briskets as well, but I'm not gonna do that with these. I'm just gonna thoroughly kind of coat and pack these pork tenderloins with the rub. This stuff smells wonderful. I'm going to put the two pieces together, kind of how they were fit together in the package. So it's going to be tied together as one kind of unit. I've got some butcher's twine here. I'm going to start on one end, and I'm just going to tie a single overhand knot and tie it pretty tight. Get the pieces together. There's my one overhand knot. And then I'm gonna bring this down a few inches here. I'm gonna wrap it around again. If I can find it. So we'll wrap this around. And when we come up on top here, we've got it kind of like in a loop, partial loop. We'll go up underneath that loop in the line and bring it down again this way a little bit. Pull it tight. And then I'll repeat that down here. Definitely not a surgeon. Loop again. I think we'll do one more down here at the end. And this last one, I'm going to tie another overhand knot right here on the end, on the very last loop area. I'll trim that. I'm going to put a little more rub on there. And there we are, we're all ready for the smoker. It is a beautiful day for using the smoker. About 30 degrees with 30 or 40 mile an hour winds. We're gonna get it fired up here and get our pork tenderloin smoking. Gotta cut a little bit of wood and then we'll get our fire going. Here is our wonderful smelling pork tenderloin, spiced and smoked. It hit that magic number of 145 internal. And I've had it resting here on the cutting board for about 30 minutes. And I'm gonna cut it up a little bit here. I'm gonna just take a slice right through the middle. Looks pretty good, a little juicy there. I'm gonna pull some of the string off too, if I can get it off. Don't want to eat string. Butcher's twine. Just kind of make some thin slices, enough for making some sandwiches here, nice and thin. It smells so good, I can't resist. I'm gonna have to eat a piece of this. It's just cooked perfectly. It's tender, it's juicy. It's got a real kick to it. Got that nice spice on there. Very nice. Put some sandwiches together next. Here we go. The sandwich that the world has been waiting for, or at least I have been waiting for. I got my soft roll split open here. I got the giardiniera that I made, and the spiced smoked pork tenderloin. I'm also gonna put some of this whole seed mustard on there. It's got jalapenos and it's made with like an IPA beer. I've really been digging this lately. It's gonna be good on there. Spread some of that whole mustard on there. Beautiful. pork. I can already see I'm gonna have to cut this. It's wonderful jardinera. All the good veggies, oil and vinegar. Oh yeah. What a mess. Beautiful sandwich.